Hello everyone and welcome back, and today we're not going to be doing any survival episodes. Instead, I bring you this. And what this is, it's a semi-automatic tree farm. Now this obviously only works with oak because that's the only tree that you can grow into other types of wood, and it uses the new observer blocks from 1.11, which are quite finicky to use for farms on PC because of how quick they react. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to grow some trees to kind of demonstrate how it works, and then we will get right on into the tutorial. So for those of you wondering what you need to build this, here it is. That should be everything you need. Wool and redstone and wood and stone, those are all kind of just a rough estimate. You shouldn't need more than that. It should be less. So we're going to get right on with building this. So first we're going to grab out our sticky pistons and our dispensers, and we're also going to grab some wood. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our dispenser off the back here, pointing towards the dirt, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take these pistons 2 blocks over, and then we're going to place them facing the dirt 4 high. Now what this is going to be is this is going to be the pusher that shoves the trees over and out of the way. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go 2 blocks back from the dispenser, and we're going to place pistons facing inward. What we're going to do is we're going to go 3 to the left of the dispenser, and then we're going to go 2 to the right. And then what you want to do is you want to go 6 up. And you want them all facing inward towards where you'll be growing your tree. And what these are going to be used for is these are going to be part of the leaf crushing system, which is going to be very important because the way this farm works is it relies on the leaves from the trees to trigger the observer block. Couldn't think of what it was called for a second. And then it's going to set off a series of events that all just leads into trees being stripped of their leaves and then pushed over into a new area. Okay, so then on this other side, again, we're going to go 3 to the left of the dispenser, 2 to the right, and then 6 up, or 5 up for now, because we don't actually need that set of pistons on the bottom because there aren't going to be any leaves there at all. And then you're just going to put wood on the faces of all of these pistons, like so. Okay, so that's that part done. Now what you want to do is you want to grab your observer block, and you're going to place it on top of this piston facing inward towards where you're growing the trees. Then, out the back of it, you're going to take whatever your block that you used instead of red wool is, and you're going to put one right behind that observer. And then you're going to place an observer on the second piston down, facing up towards that red block. And then you're going to place another piece of wool down here, with one coming out the back, and then 2 off to each side of it. So you should have something looking a bit like that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your redstone dust, put it on top of this observer, and then 2 down here, and then 2 more off to each of the sides, with repeaters facing them on 4 ticks. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to wire up all of our pistons, and to do that we're just going to run some wool along the backs of them like this. Then we're going to do that on the other side just the same. Wool on the backs with 1 out extra on this side. Next, you just want to put some redstone dust on all of the wool that is right behind the pistons, with repeaters facing into each of those lines. All this does is it makes sure that the signal strength is strong enough to go through all of this redstone here, because we're going to be taking it from this output that's going to be given by the observer blocks and running it up one of those redstone zigzag towers, which we're going to build right now with some stone slabs. To do this, we're just going to put a slab here, and then we're going to zigzag them up like so, and put redstone on all of them. And do the same on the other side, just some slabs in a zigzag pattern, like so. With redstone on top of all of them. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to continue this side up just a little bit farther than the other side. And what this is going to do is it's going to function as a way to get a signal up to our double piston extenders. And what we're going to do for that is we're going to have a pulse extender here using comparators just to make them function properly. And we're going to run a signal along this way, and this is going to be where we have our double piston extenders that crush the leaves from the top of the farm. Okay, so for the double piston extenders, what we're going to do is we're going to remove these blocks from the ceiling here. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go up 2 blocks, and you're going to grab more sticky pistons and have 2 of them facing down on all of these blocks. And then you can put those blocks back in. Now for the double piston extension, what we actually need to do is bring this out to here, and then we're going to have a block of wool here with the redstone going on top of it, and then another block of wool up here. Then we're going to have wool going across the top of all of these pistons here, and repeaters facing down into the bottom here, with redstone going into all of them except for the one on the farthest to the right here. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to have a couple of redstone torches with one on top, and then going into redstone dust on top of the wool we just placed here, and then another right off the side. Now what we need to do is take some of our stone again, place a repeater facing into this block here with redstone going down into it, and then we just need to run redstone all along here. Now what we need to do is we need to make sure that when the pistons to crush the leaves on the top do that, this observer doesn't take a signal from it, because then it'll just loop right back around, and that'll create a rather extreme redstone clock, and we don't need that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some wool with redstone on top of it going this way. We're going to have a torch off of the side with another sticky piston underneath it, just like so. And what that's going to do is when the double pistons are crushing the leaves, it's going to send a signal along here and retract this block so that the signal gets cut off as the leaves are being crushed. And that should be most of the farm done. Now all we need to do is cycle our double piston extenders so that the blocks aren't down into the farm. As long as this should work. And it appears that it is not because I forgot one part. So we also need a stone half slab on the top here with a repeater on 2 ticks running into this block. Now we should have a double piston extender. There we go. Okay. Now all we need to do is create the hoppers that are going to collect the leaves and also set up the dispenser to dispense the bone meal. And what we're going to do for that is we're just going to have a hopper running into the side of it here, and then we can run them out the back here with some chests on top of them, going all the way up to the top of the farm for easy refilling. You could also run this out along the side here to the front of the farm and just replace this wall block with a hopper, but then the hoppers would occasionally be locked, which would mean that the bone meal isn't traveling through them to get to the dispenser, which wouldn't be too much of an issue, but it's not ideal. So we're just going to run them up the side like here, and you could just have a ladder on the wall or something to get up there. Now, for the bone meal dispenser, what we're going to do is we're going to have a block here, and then we're going to go down out to the back, place a block up, have a block behind the dispenser with an upside down half slab running into it, and then what we're going to do is replace this with a wooden stair facing upside down, and we're going to put a comparator in subtract mode coming out of this block with redstone dust going around it and all the way up to the dispenser in the back. Then all we need to do is put a pressure plate on this block here and stand on it, and that should set up our automatic dispensing. There we go. Now all we need to do is put in some hoppers and some chests to collect all of the saplings. And we can do that by placing chests along the side here, and then we can also place them along the side over here with hoppers pointing into both of them, and then we can just run the hoppers around like that, and we can run these hoppers around like that, and that should pick up all of our leaves. You can also take your wood and fill in the gaps along the sides here, and you can even fill in the gaps out up the back of the farm as well. There you have it. That should be the functional parts of the farm all done, although we're missing a few hoppers. And you can put a regular block on top here. Then what you can do is place some more logs like that. And if you are having lighting issues with this farm, you can just put a torch on the top here, and then you can put them down in the corners on the bottom. And that should keep mobs from spawning in it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to build the set of pistons to push out all of the wood into a big block. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to take regular pistons and we're going to run them up the side here 4 high, and then we're just going to continue this line of redstone like this. Then we'll go out 13 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and this is where you're going to have your other set of pistons. And those are also going to be 4 high, and we can take a signal from this redstone over here and run it into these pistons using a repeater just to make sure it gets all the way there. now all you need to do is go out another 13 blocks from this piston. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And what you're going to do is here we're going to have a set of smart pistons that activate only when there's a block right here. So to do that, we're going to put a redstone torch down below everything right here. Then we're going to make a zigzag redstone tower that's going to go up into our pistons. And we're actually going to do that one block back from the original signal. So it's going to be like this. So now all we need to do is put our wall of pistons all along this side here. And there should be 12 of them. And we're going to skip this block here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then it's also going to be 4 pistons tall. Like so. And we're going to put redstone coming from this vertical line of redstone here with some repeaters to make sure that we don't run out of signal. And I'm already doing this wrong. We're actually going to need this here. And then we're going to have redstone out the back of these pistons as well, with the repeaters facing into it. And what we're going to do is we're going to change up our vertical tower of redstone just a bit. To be just like that. So instead it'll go like that. And once there's a block here, all of them will push out. And then this can refill this area with wood, and then it'll push it all out again. And that is the whole farm, all done. Now you can fill in the floor along here with hoppers if you want to make collection when digging up all of the wood or mining it all out just a little bit easier, or you can just fill it in with a solid floor like I did over on that one over there. And you can also decorate most of this farm however you please, with the only exception being you have to have stone at the top here so that the trees don't grow too tall, or else they won't get pushed off to the side. And we're just going to give this a quick test by grabbing a sapling and some bone meal to throw in the dispenser, and it should all work. So if we sit here, hold and right click, it's going to crush all the leaves, or hopefully crush all the leaves, which it did not do. So we got something going on here that's not working. Let's see. Oh, okay. So we actually need a repeater running into our pulse extender here. And that should fix the problem. So now, if we sit here and hold right click and let these trees grow, it should get pushed off to the side, and then those blocks will retract, and we can plant another one, and that'll grow. Same thing over and over again. And there you have it. Semi-automatic tree farm. So I actually need to make just a bit of a correction. These pistons need to be one out past the wall of leaf crushers, so that they're almost flush with this set of pushers here, and then you can just run the redstone to them the same way as before. Now, that would also mean that you can bring all of this one block farther back. Just make sure that you keep your 13 blocks from this piston, and then build this set of pistons. So that's all for this semi-automatic tree farm. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Post a comment about your thoughts, And I'll try to include a world download in the description, but if I don't, then obviously yell at me down below in the comments. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.